are now listening to the Sports Nuts.
Yes, welcome to the Sports Nuts. Woo! Episode 176. Matt, we have made it to 176 episodes, man. What's up with that?
Man, Brandon, first of all, mic check, 1 2 1 2. How do I sound?
You have a very bad echo.
Ooh, very bad echo.
Yeah, very bad. Like you can hear the outside noise.
Okay. Well, we'll have to adjust as we go. But yeah, man. Everything's going good so far.
Good. We made it to another amazing end of the week. It is officially Friday. You've made it to Friday. You guys are here. You're clicking. You're ticking. Everything. It's just fantastic. Shout out to everybody who is listening to us live on 95.5 KFCE in Terrell, Texas. And also everybody who is watching us or listening to us actually and watching us, but listening to us on TigerNation.live, which broadcasts in Texas, in Missouri, and Oklahoma. And also, we thank you guys for watching us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, and everywhere else you find us on social media. Oh, man, we have an absolute jam-packed episode. Got to give a quick shout-out, though, to our other team members. As you see, Shane is not with us tonight. He is actually traveling. So he might tune in. If not, please know that he sends you all his best. Also, our guys, Brian Pettit, who will be on momentarily on his channel, he is actually going to do the play-by-play of the Alabama-Oklahoma college football playoff game. So, yeah, he'll be there. And our guy, Pensman, as you guys know him, but Mike, he is not with us tonight. He actually has had a really long work week, and yeah, so I told him, enjoy your evening. Seriously, go have fun. But he will tune in this. So, but with other than that, guys, let me tell you what we have going on, man. I know you're excited about this one to a degree, but the NBA, they have a new champion, sort of. What am I talking about? We'll talk about that in just a minute and let you know what the new sort of champion is and whether or not something that they play for should be removed or not. This is absolutely exciting. This is true. Adam Silver came out the other day and said the NBA will be expanding the domestic side and has awarded expansion rights to 2 cities, and they're still waiting on 2 other cities. What cities are they? We'll talk about those in just a minute. And I got a question for you, Matt. Who is on your Mount Rushmore for NFL quarterbacks? It can be current and past. I mean, heck, if you needed to, you can go all the way back to Bart Starr kind of thing. I want to know who your Mount Rushmore is. People who are watching, I want to know you as well. I want to know your Mount Rushmore for NFL quarterbacks. The next question I have for everybody is which professional sports championship trophy is both A, the hardest to win, and B, the fairest of them all? I'm sorry, Snow White, I had to copy that. Meaning, what is the prettiest of them all? Then the next thing, we're definitely continuing on this theme of talking basketball. The NBA has yet another phenomenal athlete. He actually is still a fan favorite to this day in Atlanta, who is battling stage 4 brain cancer. Who is that? We'll talk about that in a minute. Now, I got a question for everybody. I'm going to leave this question off for you guys as well. Matt knows the answer because I told it to him in half, but I want you guys who are watching and listening, what was the largest comeback in NFL history, points-wise, and who did it? And no, it is not the Super Bowl when the Falcons blew a 28-3 lead. I'm eager to hear what you guys think. I will tell you, it is fairly recent. It's actually in the last 3 years.
When did this 28-3 thing happen? I don't know. That's news to me.
And then we have our honorable mentions. Matt has a small sports story. And then, guys, I'm really excited about telling you this, and I'm also sad, but next Tuesday will be the last episode of 2025, and then we will take a much-deserved, well-deserved 2-week vacation, and we will come back on January 6th, and I have some really cool news about guests. John, I know the hardest trophy. You got to tell me what the hardest trophy is. There are 4 trophies. I'm going to give you the 4 trophies. Matt knows these trophies real well. The Larry O'Brien Trophy, which is the NBA, the World Series Trophy for baseball, the Stanley Cup, and the last but not least is the Lombardi. Out of those four, which one is the hardest to win and which one is the sexiest to win? Here's, if you guys need to know what they look like, I don't know why, but this is what they look like. So now you know which trophies are. All right, Matt. So I've given you time to think about the question. Everybody who is listening and watching, I've also given you time. Can you guys tell me? Look, John just made a comment. The largest comeback would happen to be in 2019. No, you're close.
Negative.
You're close. World Cup matters too. I didn't include those four though, John. All right, I'm gonna give you another hint. It happened on December the 17th, 2022, and the quarterback of said teams, they actually have the oldest quarterback right now, current active quarterback, and also he is a former quarterback of this team, was now the Falcons quarterback. Does that kind of give you a hint? I'll come back to it in a minute. We'll talk about, so the first thing I want to talk about, Matt, and this absolutely breaks my heart. You know, the NBA has unfortunately had a lot of great athletes come and go. And unfortunately, recently, John got it. It was Dikembe Mutombo died of, he passed away from brain cancer. Well, Jason Collins made the announcement he has stage 4 brain cancer, and recently, as recently as last week, said he is entering hospice care. He is a fan favorite in Atlanta. As you know, he is still regarded as one of the most beloved players in Atlanta Hawks history. People don't know, Jason Collins also came out as the first openly active gay NBA player. Jason Collins, I've had the privilege of meeting him. He absolutely, his brother is phenomenal too. Matt, give me one of your most fondest memories that you have of Jason Collins as a whole.
First off, does this sound a little better?
Yes.
Perfect. No, man. I remember him and his brother at Stanford, man. They paved the way. I'm pretty sure they were kind of part of the reason why Lopez twins, Robin and Brooke Lopez, went to Stanford, because of these two guys, the brothers. I remember it was kind of a big deal them coming out in the 90s when they came into the league. They were solid. You knew they weren't going to be all-star type players, but at the same time, you knew they would be able to contribute and give you some good minutes. So, yeah, man, it's very sad what's happening, what's going on with him, what's transpiring with him. That's just something that you can't hope that. You can't hope what things like that. So, just prayers out to him and his family, man. Sorry, I just gotta see how the house went. So, but shout out to him and his family, man. And I hope they go through it.
Yes, I'm not in your chair, Pinsman. All right. Yeah, it's really sad. I remember Jason Collins, there were times that you needed something reliable, Matt, and for whatever reason, it was either Mike Bibby could give the ball to Jason Collins or Jeff Teague. Every time one of those two found him, you were almost guaranteed a clutch basket was going to come out of Jason Collins. Phenomenal individual, phenomenal basketball player. I hate that he has entered hospice care. It breaks your heart. Cancer, sucks. And as the late, great Stuart Scott said, when you do pass away from cancer didn't win. No, you kicked cancer's bleep. This is a G-rated show. I can't use it. Just kind of use what I'm saying though. But Stuart Scott, he said it correctly on there. But such a tragic moment in history of basketball. He's unfortunately most likely his last Christmas ever on the planet, and I hate that. All right, so the question I asked everybody just a moment ago was, can you tell me the largest comeback ever in NFL history, and also who did it, and also the point total? Well, one of our listeners just actually Someone guessed it. Actually, Dikembe Mutombo, unfortunately, John passed away this past year,
Also,
with brain cancer himself.
yes, unfortunately, and also no, Mike Bibby did not get robbed with that Kings team. The better team won.
Yes. And also, I got a little cool story to tell you, John. When I was 15 years old, Matt knows this arena very well. Atlanta Hawks, they had made the announcement. They used to play in this old rust bucket called the Omni Arena. It's synonymous with so many great concerts that took place in Atlanta. They still have the Omni Hotel in Atlanta, although albeit it's kind of just there now. It's not really utilized anymore because it's still attached to the CNN Center, which is going to go away. Everything's basically out of there now. There's nothing really left there. It's just you just have State Farm Arena and that's it. They were building. They made the announcement they're going to build a new arena, Phillips Arena. And so that year, the couple years that they were building the arena, they played both of their home games in the Georgia Dome and Alexander Memorial Coliseum, where Georgia Tech plays. Well, it was my 15th birthday. Shout out to my mother for this. They have this thing with the Atlanta Hawks. You can actually walk out onto the courts, and you can meet them before the game and just be a part of the pregame huddle. Oh my God. Dikembe Mutombo has always been my favorite, always. Even when he played at Denver, he was my favorite player. I mean, heck, I remember getting to watch him play at Georgetown. You know, that's how long I've watched him. Well, I got to have an autographed basketball of Dikembe Mutombo. I have an autographed poster, ball cap, and I have his jersey. Matt has seen the jersey. It's real. It is signed by Dikembe. It's actually in a frame. It will never, ever be given away, sold, whatever, because it's near and dear to my heart. One of the greatest athletes to ever don an Atlanta Hawks jersey is Dikembe Mutombo. Well, Matt, you have a little stab here from our good friend Pinsman. What's up, model citizen, Matt?
Again, that model citizen has been the best citizen in that position for that team this year. So,
oh yes, it's so much fun just to heckle. All right, so let's go back to the question that I asked everybody. All right, so the answer, Matt, do you know the answer of the question I asked?
Of course, man.
All right,
captain.
Yes,
the captain.
That is the correct answer. It is Kirk Cousins versus the Colts.
Captain Kirk.
As far as the quarterback. So it's actually December the 17th, 2022. Minnesota Vikings were playing at the time the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts went up 33-0. And then all of a sudden, Kirk Chains himself said, hold my beer. And they came on this monster comeback. And they actually came this close to winning it in regulation. It was 35-35 going into overtime. And the Colts were driving. Vikings intercepted the ball. Kirk drives them down, and they kicked the game-winning field goal. So the largest comeback ever in NFL history is 33 points, done by said Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings, December 17th, 2022, 3 years ago. So congratulations on that one, John. You got it. Really excited about that one. All right, so let's go to the next topic on this one. And we're going to talk about the NBA again, Matt. I just said to everybody, the NBA has a new champion, but sort of. The NBA Cup has a new champion in the New York Knickerbockers. They beat the San Antonio Spurs and Victor Wembanyama to win the NBA Cup. Now, it has already been discussed, and this has been confirmed. This will be the last time ever that the NBA Cup is held on a neutral court. It will now be held at like the best team available left in the tournament. So my question is going to go to you, Matt. Is the NBA Cup worth it, or should they just dissolve the entire thing as a whole? Because nobody has ever won the Larry O'Brien Trophy, who has won, this is the theme, by the way, has won the NBA Cup. What do you think?
Well, from the player's perspective, man, you got to look at the players that don't have the big contracts. Those guys, if you win the cup, they win like, what, $500,000 or something like that?
$500,000 each, yep.
Yeah, so you look at it from that perspective, man. From that perspective, okay, whatever. But from the perspective of fans, I'll tell you this right now, man. It's A lot of fans can't even follow it. It's too confusing. There's a cup game today, then there's no cup game tomorrow, but then there's a cup game here, and there's a cup game there, and then
the courts are changed all over the place.
The courts look funky and stuff like that, man. So, I mean, from a fan, from my perspective, man, I'm like, do away with you don't need that. I understand why they did it, just to do something new, like an in-season tournament like soccer does, but this isn't soccer, man. This is NBA. The NBA is a fast-paced game, man, and it's a high-scoring game out of that. So, you know, man, and then you're gonna have teams win because the other teams aren't really taking it serious. So you're gonna have these, you know, teams kind of win it, and it doesn't really mean anything. But if I was on a team and we won, I'll be happy for that extra $500K. I'm not gonna lie about that, man. I definitely would.
But it's not really $500,000 to get because the government taxes you 45%.
Of course,
you're still getting over $200,000, but still. You know,
exactly. It's crazy, man. But, you know, man, I think they should just do away with it. And I think they will. I think they will do away with that at some point. Maybe have like during the preseason, instead of there being a preseason, there'll be like a little tournament, like a tournament type thing, like, you know, summer league tournament. It'll be like something like that, like a preseason tournament, preseason MVP, preseason this, where every team plays like they do this tournament style game. So I think that would bode better if they did that. But this thing during the season, during actual games, regular season games, it's just too much going on at this particular moment with that. So
you know, Pinsman made this comment recently, Matt, and I know you probably remember it, with regards to what the NHL does. They have the battle of like the nations battle, and they bring the top 6 together, and then you go back and forth, and you have people like Matthew Tkachuk who says, I'm going to beat everybody up left and right. For those who know who Matthew Tkachuk is, he plays on the absolute hatest team ever in the Florida Panthers. But yeah, he's a darn good player, one of the best. But do something like that, you know, like the All-Star game is a joke. Absolutely a joke. It's, you know this, Matt. I mean, last All-Star game, it was like 287 to 250. It's absolutely insane to see these kinds of things. Nobody cares anymore. Nobody plays defense. You know, back when the day when you saw Kobe and MJ, heck, even when you saw all 5 of the Atlanta Hawks starters at the same time, they played because they cared. It meant something more.
Yes, that is true. I think they didn't do something like high school baseball does. The winner of the All-Star game gets home field advantage.
They don't do that anymore, unfortunately.
Well, that was good, man. They didn't do something like that, man. They had to do something. But with the All-Star game, they need to go back to just East versus West. Go back to this
None of this nonsense. LeBron versus KD.
Yeah,
KD
man.
versus
we're gonna draft this
Larry Bird and all this other stuff.
No. Go back to East versus West, man. Keep it organic. Go back to East versus West, but have an incentive. Have something there for the players who win. You know, man. If you win,
Chosen one versus Kobe and Brandon.
Chosen one versus Kobe. Oh my God. Hey, man. You know, we'll see what happens, but I think they need to go back to the old format and just figure out what they do. Figure out what they can do about this dunk contest. That's what they need to be doing.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, I think they should make it mandated that the stars participate in the dunk. I mean, yes, it's nice to see the no-namers, but again, how many no-namers are going to win NBA championships for? They're not really going to do anything. And I mean, I can't remember the last time I saw real stars participating in the NBA dunk contest. I think the last time I saw it was actually when Vince Carter was still playing. That's all. I mean, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong. When was the last time you saw the stars be a part of the dunk contest?
Last time I saw an all-star part of a dunk contest, maybe Dwight Howard. I mean,
Superman, yeah.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. It's been a while, man. You don't really see too many people that are, you know, I mean, to see John Morant in one, man, bring Zach LaVine back, John Morant. I mean, you got some people out there, man, that can make it an interesting contest. But I don't know, man. I think it's lost its luster, man, for good. It's a shame when a 3-point contest is more exciting than a dunk contest.
Boy, is that ever true? It's so disappointing. All right, let's go to the next topic on here, and this one is actually really exciting to talk about. Adam Silver has come out and said that they are, in fact, going to be expanding the domestic side of the NBA, not the international. I'm not talking about like the Toronto and Vancouver, albeit Vancouver's name is listed as a potential to bring another NBA franchise back. No, the expansion rights have already been awarded, which means they do not have to apply to get an NBA expansion team. They will get one. They're guaranteed to get one. Matt, for bleeps and giggles, can you name the two cities just off the top of your head?
Oh man, it has to be. It's gonna have to be like Vegas and Seattle. It has to be Vegas and Seattle.
That's right. Seattle and Las Vegas. They have already been awarded the NBA expansion rights, which means they will get an NBA team. So the vote that's going to take place at the end of this NBA season, which everybody knows ends in June of 2026, is when they're going to vote. And then Adam Silver has come out and said he wants to do an expansion of 3, but he is trying for 4 cities. And so Seattle and Vegas are on there. Well, Kansas City is one of the other cities that has the highest probability of landing a franchise. Remember, Matt, there used to be a team called the Kansas City Monarchs a long time ago. They were
back in the day.
Formidable team.
Back in the day.
Yeah, they were a formidable team. And then, they're gone. It sucks.
Yeah, but I don't see any team getting. I don't see there being any 2 teams or any expansion teams before Seattle and Vegas. Those are the next 2 in line.
Yeah, they will get it. Absolutely, they're going to get it. But the other 2 cities that they're considering, it is Kansas City is one, and this one actually, the next one I'm about to mention to you, it's a head scratcher, but I understand. Birmingham is listed. Yeah, they are listed.
I heard of Virginia Beach. I heard of Virginia Beach as well.
Virginia Beach is mentioned on that one also.
Yeah.
And then Buffalo is mentioned on there as well, that Buffalo could get a team. Now, I know he said that he wanted to expand the domestic side. However, Vancouver, his name is also mentioned. And everybody knows, Matt, please let everybody know what will happen if they expand with East and West, obviously.
Well, you have to keep the same even number of teams in East and West Coast. If they let us have Seattle and Vegas, then they're going to shift like the Pelicans and the Grizzlies over to the East, and then they'll keep those teams. Pelicans, Grizzlies, Minnesota, those are teams that are more than likely switch over from the Western Conference to the Eastern Conference because of where they're placed on the map. But, the 2 teams that would more likely move would be the Pelicans and the Grizzlies if need be. Yeah, definitely the Grizzlies. Definitely the Grizzlies.
So the Grizzlies have a real probability they are going to relocate, not in the sense you're thinking about leaving. No, they're going to relocate from the Western Conference to the Eastern Conference. So it's interesting, but really exciting news that it's coming. It finally is going to happen. I mean, I can't tell you how excited I am, but also what's really interesting is every time Gary Bettman, as everybody should know, he is the commissioner of the National Hockey League, NHL. Every time he has made this announcements that they're going to expand, the NBA has really quickly gone and said, we're going to be next, we're going to be next, we're going to be next. Well, this time they've gotten ahead, so to speak, of the NHL, because remember the NHL has 2 teams that are coming already, and it's Atlanta and Houston. Those 2 are going to be the next 2 NHL franchises to happen. Well, the NBA is trying to get Seattle and Las Vegas before the NHL because it's always a competition between all, and everybody knows what's going on with Vegas. I mean, Oakland has literally lost every ounce of a team imaginable, and now it's just back to Oakland as it once was, a no-name place that was full of crime. And now you have the Las Vegas Aces. Now you have the Las Vegas Athletics, which I heard they were considering maybe changing the name. I don't know, but then you have the Las Vegas Athletics. You have the Las Vegas Golden Knights, and now you have a potential for an NBA franchise. And of course, they have an MLS franchise too. So really exciting things are taking place. Can't wait for that one. Just excited. All right, Matt. So let me ask you this question. I've shown the trophy. Okay, let me go back to it again. These are the 4 trophies. I want everybody to look at this. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 1 is the Lombardi. Number 2 is the Stanley Cup. Number 3 is the trophy you won in the World Series. I can't remember the name of it. I'm sorry. And then number 4 is the Larry Bryant trophy, which is you get in the NBA. Matt, out of those 4 trophies, those 4 professional trophies, I want you to tell me, and then I want the fans also watching to tell me, which one is the hardest that you think to win, and B, which one is the sexiest out of all four?
Oh man, the most difficult has to be the Lombardi Trophy, the NFL Trophy. That has to be the most hardest one, man, due to the fact that we haven't ever had anybody three-peat before.
Yeah,
that's how I look at it. That one has to be difficult just because of the grueling grind of the NFL. You're getting hit, injuries. I mean, every team is injured. Everybody's hurt. Just the physicality of that particular sport, man, it makes it definitely the hardest one and the one that you probably feel the most accomplished getting that one, because this truly is a team sport. You truly rely on everybody else, man, when you play that particular sport. So it has to be that particular trophy.
Which one do you think is the sexiest of all, though? Like the oh my god, I could marry the trophy right now. It's so daggum gorgeous.
By the way it looks, I don't know, man. I like the MLB one. It's just kind of distinct. It's kind of odd. It's kind of odd.
The flags, yeah.
I like that one. I don't like the Larry O'Brien one, man. For some reason, I never liked Larry O'Brien.
I never liked it either, actually. You know, I mean, I would love for Atlanta to hoist it in Atlanta. Yeah, they did it in St. Louis, but we need to have it in Atlanta.
Of course, man. But definitely, oh man. But then again, the Stanley Cup, Stanley Cup.
I love it
for sure, because I'll fill it with nothing but
they do that too. Players do that. They drink out of it.
Yeah, I'll fill it with that. So it's Stanley Cup by far.
So, for a fun fact, actually, the Stanley Cup is the oldest professional trophy in all of the major American sports. I'm not saying international. I said American sports. The Stanley Cup, I think, honestly, and people will also say this, is one of the hardest trophies to win because, this is the last year, by the way, you will see 82 regular season games in the NHL. Next season, it starts 84 because they're expanding too. Also, but next year it will be 84. Wow. Yeah, it's 84 games. So then you also have 7-game series the entire way from the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's literally 7-game series all the way. So you could play 7, 14, 21, 28. That's a lot. That's a lot to think about. So the Stanley Cup, it is rated as one of the hardest trophies to win. It is also one of the hardest to repeat. For 50 points, Matt Pensman, don't answer the question until after Matt answers it. Who was the last team to win back-to-back Stanley Cups?
I don't know about back-to-back. I know back-to-back was Vegas.
Nope.
Was it wrong? Or was it Florida?
Florida Panthers with the last year. They won it back-to-back.
Yeah.
And then before that was the Lightning.
Okay, and before that was Vegas then, right?
Nope. Vegas has only won it one time. They've been to it multiple times.
I know Vegas won it one time, but it was recently. They won it recently within the last 10 years. I know Vegas won it since then. Hey man, stop disrespecting my hockey knowledge, man.
I'm so proud of you. So then why don't you tell me then who was the team that won a three-peat?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Pensman, why don't you make the post? Who was the last team to win? Who was the three-peat? Who was the last team to three-peat in the Stanley Cup? And it is a above the border team.
Okay.
It is the Edmonton Oilers in the 80s. They were a predominant figure. Then you had the Oilers, you had the Islanders. Literally, it's the Stanley Cup is one of the hardest to win. It's one of the hardest to repeat, let alone to have it 3 times. As you guys heard also, Matt will tell you, there's never, ever been, as long as the Lombardi Trophy has been around, there's never been a three-peat in the Lumby. There has, when they had the original AFL championship, there's been teams that have won it multiple times. But it's never happened. So the second hardest, it is the Lombardi Trophy. You're right, because it is the most grueling sport. Granted, you have 17 regular season games, and you have 4 playoff games if you don't have a bye. So it's hard. It really is hard. Yes. That's why you've only seen one team ever go undefeated the entire way from start to finish in the NFL. The Patriots came close, but they didn't do it. They did not win the whole thing because they lost to Eli Manning in the helmet catch. But then the next one, I think the easiest one now is the NBA trophy because it's not really a team sport anymore, Matt. It's more of I got better stats. Anything you can do, I can do better. I got better stats than you, kind of thing. As your chosen one, LeBron will eagerly so tell you he prefers to chase stats than championships now. And so that leads you to say that I think the third hardest to win is the World Series trophy. I mean, anybody can win though at any given time, as you guys saw in 2021. The Atlanta Braves, they were not in competition contention for the they're not in contention for the division all the way up until 9 days before the season ended. And then, the New York Metropolitans do what they do best. And they just said, we don't want to win anything. We don't even want to go to the playoffs. And then the Braves got hot at the right time. They won the World Series in 2021. That's why I said, I think it's the third hardest. It's kind of one of the easier ones to win. I feel that's just my feeling. Okay. But as far as the sexiest, I'm definitely going to say it definitely is the Stanley Cup. I think it's one of it's so gorgeous. And the fact that they meticulously, etch every player's name on that trophy. I mean, it's amazing how they do that. And they've been doing it for so long. It's insane. But then the next one, the second sexiest definitely is Lombardi. The third is the World Series. The fourth is the Larry Bryant. I just don't see, Matt, correct me wrong. Tell me what people think is so sexy about the Larry Bryant, other than obviously it's the championship title, but what do you think is so eye-catching to athletes now that I've won the Larry O'Brien trophy?
I think it's because of just the dramatics of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant winning it, man. And I guess, the NBA does have the better storylines. It's more flashy. It's a more flashy game. It's more of entertainment. It's more of entertainment, man, as far as, you can focus on one particular person and try to mimic and mock that person and do everything. I just think that particular trophy is a little bit more, it's a little bit more flair and flash rather than substance as far as the NBA trophies go, especially with the way the game is played now.
Yeah, it's more geared towards stats than it really is anything else, and it's unfortunate. But what do you look? All right, so we're getting comments left and right. Our guy Pinsman said the Daytona 500 should be on there. I would love if you could, Pinsman, text me a picture. I can show it.
Team sports, Pinsman. Team sports.
They are, well, Daytona 500 is a team.
I understand with the pit and a thing like that, but NASCAR is categorized as individual sport. It's like horse racing, it's like tennis, just like golf. It's categorized as an individual sport.
And that John said, have you seen it? Yes, actually, 2018, the Atlanta United got to hoist the MLS Cup. And as recently as 2 weeks ago, Lionel Messi got the opportunity to hoist the MLS Cup. So definitely very pretty. So what he was saying, Pensman, is it's more geared towards individual success. Yeah, you have your pit crew and crew chief and all that stuff, but are they in the cart the exact same time as the driver? No, they're not. They're in the headphone, but they're not in the place. So team sport wise, yes, I understand. But MLS Cup, it is pretty, yes. Let's see. This is the MLS Cup right here. Matt, if you could, can you text Shane the link he wants to come on? Unless I can, here, I'll do it. I'll send him real quick. I don't know why he doesn't have it, but he doesn't. So, Matt, what other trophies would you maybe consider putting on there as one of the prettiest team trophies that you could win? Like what other ones? Because there's a bunch of them out there, obviously.
There's a bunch of them out there, man. But I think you covered all the major ones. I mean, there's nothing. Yeah, you covered all the major ones. I mean, I guess the most, I guess the best one, the one that trumps all those, is winning an Olympic gold medal. I guess. I mean, if you want to kind of go that, but yeah, man. I mean,
John said the Champions League trophy is pretty.
Yeah.
You know what I would love to do, Matt?
What's that?
I want to do what all the Olympic athletes do. They bite
the gold.
You know why they do that also is because, as we are growing up, you still have it, but the the chocolate covered
That's what I'm
medallion.
saying. I thought it was a chocolate thing, man.
People always thought it was, I can bite it like a chocolate, see if it really tastes like chocolate. That's like people think the moon is made of cheese. I mean, that's just out there, But I mean, I would love to do that. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news: Shane will be joining us momentarily. All right, so this is from our good friend John Matt. This is the Champions Trophy, the Champions League Trophy. It's kind of eerily similar to the MLS Trophy, but that is a very pretty trophy. Yes, granted, MLS Trophy is very pretty, but I will definitely stick with my guns on that one. We'll ask Shane when he comes on. By the way, if you're watching the Atlanta Hawks take on the San Antonio Spurs, Matt, you're definitely not missing anything. So why don't you go ahead and turn that off?
Trey's not playing today, man. But I get it. You want to give him, time to get back with the knee and stuff like that. But what's going on? Are the Spurs destroying them?
Yeah, they're up 43-25.
Oh my God! I guess
you're not missing much. So go ahead,
Wemby.
Turn that off. Turn on us and
it's Wemby.
Interact with the sports. We absolutely appreciate it. All right, so I've asked, I've asked this question. I'm going to ask it again, Matt, and people who are watching. And I want the people who are watching. You've got to really think about this. Who is on your Mount Rushmore for NFL quarterbacks? And I want you to give me your 4 and why you gave them your 4. Now, look, if you're obviously, this is just an example. This is not mine, but this is what is touted as the Mount Rushmore pictures, okay? Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, Aaron Rodgers. All right, so tell me, Matt, start with you. Can you hear me? All right, I want you to give me your Mount Rushmore as far as quarterbacks go, Matt.
Oh, man, as far as quarterbacks go, man, you got to go with Brady first. I go with Brady. Got to go with Montana. Got to go with Mahomes. I go with Mahomes. I put Mahomes in there. Got to go with Mahomes. And then you got to go with, there's so many. But I'm going to go with Peyton. And my criteria pretty much goes on not only how many championships they won, but how they orchestrated the offense, how they commanded the game.
They revolutionized the game.
Yeah, like Peyton Manning, for example, man. Just look at the coverage and instantly knew what you were running and with Omaha, and all that stuff. So, yeah, man, you got that for Brady for obvious reasons. Mahomes, because Mahomes has probably
Mahomes.
He probably has better arm talent than anybody on this list. So, yeah, man, that'll be kind of my Mount Rushmore for the time being. And Drew Brees, don't get me wrong, Brees was good. I call him Breezes, Drew Breezes. But I just don't think he's better than anybody that I've named. But Brees is definitely top 10. He's definitely a top 10 quarterback of all time.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, look who's joined us. Shane Owen, man. What's going on, sir?
Hey, hopefully everybody's doing good. Sorry for my tardiness. But man, I've been traveling, trying to see some good friends and everything down here, and in the armpit of South Carolina, I guess you could call it. I mean, it's 63 degrees down here. It's a little warm for me. So,
yeah.
So, but yeah, sorry for the tardiness, but y'all talking about this Mount Rushmore, really?
Yeah, I want you to tell me, Shane. All right, by the way, this is for you. John said bacon grease to you. So let me ask you this, Shane. I've already asked Matt, and he's given me his Mount Rushmore for quarterbacks. Who are your Mount Rushmore for NFL quarterbacks, and why do you choose them to be on your Mount Rushmore?
Well, what's the criteria? Because
doesn't matter. You can go current or all the way to Bart Starr if you wanted to.
Well, see, here's the thing, and I'm sure that everybody will agree with me on this, is like you have a historic Mount Rushmore, but then you have a kind of change the game Mount Rushmore, and then you kind of have a like top Hall of Fame Mount Rushmore. Especially
just do your overall then. Just give me 4 of your overall.
So from I will do my Mount Rushmore for my time. Yeah. So
my time.
My time like that I was able to
You've only been watching football since you were 5, and that was 6 years ago.
I mean, I'm doing pretty good to have a full beard at 11. but either way, I'm gonna do it kind of my time, kind of, a kind of Mount Rushmore of our like late 2000s, early 2000s, late 90s kind of deal. So I'm gonna go. Of course, you got to go Brady and Peyton as 1 and 2. I'm gonna go ahead and I like it. I'm gonna slip Steve in there because
Steve Young.
Well, he was the one that kind of revolutionized the game, West Coast offense. We've got a little bit of a scrambling quarterback. Now we get some rushing yards in that sense. So, like he paved the way for what a modern quarterback is. And then I'm gonna go with Marino.
Oh, hey, Pinsman just said you're going with Dak Prescott.
No. Pinsman doesn't know something from the hole in the wall. but either way, I'm saying, hey, and this is a Pittsburgh guy, Pinsman, Marino, best arm talent, and I don't know how it happened, but y'all watched the 30 for 30 on it. but man, Marino was a true talent, and I mean, he obviously proved it. He never won a championship, but probably the greatest to never win a championship though either.
I like that. Absolutely, I do. There's so many great talents that have donned an NFL uniform. I'm going to go.
I mean, I definitely, I'd love to put Cunningham up there.
Yeah, Randall Honeycomb is one of the best. What about Warren Moon?
But put those guys over who? Who you taking out?
And that's the thing. I can't do it. But like my favorite quarterback of all time followed in Warren Moon and McNabb and Cunningham and everything. So I mean, it's how you want to propose it as all-time scramblers, game changers. You can go about 12 different ways to get 12 different answers.
That's true. You really can. Absolutely. Blaze, good to see you, brother. Hey, you see the question we're talking about here, Blaze? Why don't you let me know? Let us know. All know who is on your Mount Rushmore for quarterbacks? We want to know. Mine, I'm going to kind of go old school and new school together. Okay. The first one I'm definitely going to go is definitely Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. I mean, Matt, you know this. Peyton Manning can. I mean, if you guys ever go back and look at the stories, a lot of the cadence that you heard, the Omahas and whatever not, he actually went and told on a 30 for 30 document that he will give 30 different cadence to the game about changing the play and everything, and 29 of them are bogus. So only him and Saturday are the only ones to know, like who.
Well, of course, somebody else had to know, right?
So it was the cadence he was doing was just to the line. It was actually Peyton Manning was really cool how he did that. So I'd say Peyton Manning is one.
No. It was great. Like Peyton Manning in the Omaha, like breaking off the huddle and everything else like that. He is the whole reason why we have the no false counts and no hard counts. Like that whole season, like when he masterclassed the hard counts, they came to fruition, and they was like, nope, no more of that.
Yeah, exactly. So mine is definitely Peyton. The second one, there's so many good ones I can't think. I'm gonna say Bart Starr, because of what he did for the Green Bay Packers. He solidified the passing game. Back in the day, also, you used to not be able to do forward passes in football. It was all running and throwing the ball back. So there was never really these, wide receiver stats and running. It was literally just option. That's all it was. And the football game actually, and I want you guys to know this. This is a real true story. Just for bleeps and giggles, can you guys name which president saved the game of football from being dissolved? Matt, do you know the answer? Do you know the answer, Shane?
Not an answer to this one.
I'm going to say he had a strong mustache and some spectacles and was
oh my God, listen to Shane knows the answer.
Was revered as a man's man, and revered was the leader of the horse militia in the army during his presidency too.
Was also a horse. He also rode a horse. His name is Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt is the one that saved football because they didn't have helmets. They were just a leather pad over their head. They didn't wear pads. No. And back then, you had 200 players on teams. And at the end of the season, you had less than 100 because 50 to 60 of them would die every year. That's how violent it was. And Teddy Roosevelt said, I like this game. I'm invested in it, but I want to be a lot safer. So a lot of the things you see now with the passing, with the linemen, everything, the pads, the helmet, everything is attributed to Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt actually revolutionized the game of football for the better part. So my third one on the Mount Rushmore, Matt, it's going to hurt me to say this, Drew Brees, because Drew Brees did something that not many people could do, and nobody could do, especially with his height. He is one of the shortest quarterbacks to ever play the game, and what is one of the most successful to ever play the game. So Drew Brees is on that one. My last one, daggum, there's so many, and no, it's not Kirk Cousins. Stop saying that, Pinsman. Daggum.
Hey man, don't pay attention to Pinsman. He said Ben Roethlisberger. That's all I needed to say.
I know, right? Daggum. Let's see.
Talk about motorcycle rides.
There's so many more.
Talk about Ben Roethlisberger on Mount Rushmore, and he talk about what Ben Roethlisberger
was doing. All right, you get ready?
On the side of the mountain by himself.
Tom Landry. What do you think about that?
Tom Landry.
Mm-hmm. Pinsman, the bias is showing. So, but actually, no, I'm going to take Tom Landry up. No, I'm going to throw Falcons quarterback, Steve Bartkowski, because of what he did for the Atlanta Falcons. And I've met Steve Bartkowski. He's a great guy. He only lives 20 minutes from you, Matt.
On the Mount Rushmore, though?
Yeah, because Steve Bartkowski revolutionized the Atlanta Falcons. Before Steve Bartkowski, named the quarterback, the last successful quarterback before Bartkowski for the Atlanta Falcons. Matt doesn't know. Matt will tell you there's nobody, because there really is nobody.
Other than Tom Brady of the first half of that game.
Steve Bartkowski, though, played in the early 80s and 90s, though.
I don't recall him Tom Brady on your list, Brandon.
I don't think he's on my Mount Rushmore. I think if I had to expand it to 5, yes, I'd put him on there 5. Absolutely. But you notice I did not put Joe Montana on there. Joe Montana did a lot of good things for the game. Absolutely. I mean, look what he did. He went and won championships for both the Niners and the Chiefs.
You're talking about a dude from Atlanta when you got John Elway out there too.
Yeah, I don't like John Elway. I've never liked him. I don't think John Elway truly won.
You can't argue with his stats compared to
yeah, I can. I don't think John Elway.
To who?
Steve Bartkowski.
To Bartkowski. But okay, who's in the Hall of Fame? Who's not?
Both of them actually are. Steve Bartkowski's in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, really?
He's the first Atlanta Falcon to ever be. Yeah, he was the first Falcon to be elected into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay. So that must have been their first good year.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah,
I don't think John Elway really truly. I think Elway had a massive amount of talent to win those Super Bowls. If John Elway were to go play for the New York Jets with that, during that same time frame, he'd be your average Joe, literally. If you put John Elway, gosh, even with the Minnesota Vikings back then too, when they had Randall Cunningham, they went 15-1 in '98 and lost to the Atlanta Falcons. That was the team. I still say he wouldn't have won. I still say, granted, the UFL, the baseball, and the NFL all competing for John Elway. If he would have been nailed down to one of them, like what kind of argument would we be having now? But look, Eli Manning did the same thing. Remember, he got he was the number 1 overall selection. Said, I'm not playing for them. I'm going to go play for the Giants.
Yeah.
But Eli Manning is not on that list. He may have won 2 championships with the New York Giants, but he was an average great quarterback. He wasn't a great. He was an average great quarterback.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
And because he wasn't Phil Simms for the best average great quarterback for the Giants.
Oh, I think Phil Simms is an absolute joke. I think he's a dummy too. That's just my thoughts.
But I'm saying you're making an argument for the best, like the first best quarterback for the Falcons.
He put the Falcons on the map, is what he did.
But there are plenty of other quarterbacks that you're sitting here comparing to that have better that have better stat lines and stuff to back it up than what you're saying.
I guess when it comes to Mount Rushmore's, it's pretty much your personal favorite. That's all Mount Rushmore's. All Mount Rushmore's are your personal favorites, you know.
So to answer your question there, John,
it's personal favorites, but yeah, you've got to put some facts behind it. Like
I did put facts behind it. I did.
You gotta
have Brady and Manning.
I did have Brady. I did have Brady. I also had Brady as number 5, but I had Manning as number 1. So, and to answer your question on that, John, Joe Namath, he was a good enough quarterback. If I had to put him as the Mount Rushmore, I wouldn't say it because Joe Namath,
in Jets history because of the folklore and what he brought to the team, yes. But
the only thing he did really good though is he guaranteed that championship.
Yeah, as far as a player, he did enough to get it done. It wasn't anything outstanding, but hey, he was a gritty Italian, and he never claimed to be anything other. And they came out and they pulled it off. That's the only thing he claimed to be.
So all right, so we've already asked this question, Shane, but I don't know if you heard. Let me ask you this. For there was one game had the largest comeback ever in NFL history points wise, and it was done fairly recent. Can you name the team that came back has the largest comeback in NFL history, and also what was the point total?
I want to say it happened this year.
Nope.
No, it didn't happen this year.
It happened 3 years ago, exactly 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yes.
I'm not sure because we've seen some like I want to say a 38-point comeback from somebody.
Nope, you're close though.
December
17th, 2022. The Minnesota Vikings were down 33-0 to the Indianapolis Colts, and they came back and they won 38-35 in overtime. Kirk Cousins led the charge.
I remember that because they scored 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and held Indy to like what was it, -4 yards in the fourth quarter.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. Yeah. They were down 33. Trey, so go back and look. The Minnesota Vikings were down 33-0 to the Indianapolis Colts. Kirk Cousins said, "Hold my beer," and they won. So absolutely huge comeback on that one.
And then Atlanta gave him a contract.
Yeah, then Atlanta gave him the contract. That's right.
That's actually the game when Kirk Cousins came back. You know, he had you like that with the Redskins, but he came back with the Vikings. It was like, you like that? You like that? He did it again. That was
like that. You like that?
That was the game he did it again.
Oh yeah.
All right, so now comes the best part of one of the best parts of the show. It is our honorable mentions. Just give you some honorable mentions, little sports stories that maybe it's not necessarily always covered. The first one I'm going to give a shout out to, Matt, is actually right down the road from you. Buford High School. They won the state championship against literally the juggernaut of the entire Georgia High School Football Association. They averaged 62 points a game, and Buford won 28-21. And by the way, this is the first year, as you guys didn't remember, Buford opened up their $63 million football complex.
But hold on, not only state champions, they are the first official national high school football champions.
Yep. Good on. So I definitely tip my cap to Buford High School. Absolutely. I mean, they shut down an offensive juggernaut, which, by the way, man, can you guys just wrap your head around this for a second? A high school team was averaging 62 points a game, and they got held at 21 points total. That's insane. Like,
I watched Chip Kelly at Oregon in the early 2000s. So,
but that's not high school though. This is high school. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I know he still put up those same numbers.
All right, so Matt, what is your first honorable mention, sir? You got to unmute.
What I'm gonna do here, man, Brendan, I'm gonna give you all four of my honorable mentions at the same time.
Because you have the kids running around.
Well, no, there's a reason why that, but also they're all from the same game.
Oh,
and
boy.
this is all from Thursday night football game, man. Everybody's coming from. First honorable mention is gonna go to Matt Stafford, man, threw for 457 yards. He's having an MVP season. So, my first honorable mention is going to go to Matt Stafford, man. He's probably going to be the NFL MVP this year, but 457 yards. You don't see quarterbacks do that anymore. And if you watch, Kirk Cousins had an interesting press conference where they asked him, why aren't quarterbacks getting these gaudy numbers like they used to when Peyton Manning and Drew Brees were here? And he gave a very good, articulate answer as to why. And he was talking about how defenses are just too good at masking what they're doing now. So you're not going to see that anymore. So, man, just the fact that Stafford's able to still throw 457 yards, man, is just amazing. Again, I don't think we've seen that all season. Has the quarterback thrown 400 yards at all this season? I don't even think I've seen it.
No.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. So, first one, I'm going to go to him. Next one's going to go to Puka Nacua. I think he had like 12 catches for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Game-winning touchdown, by the way.
It was the game-winning touchdown, So he gets the second one. My third one is going to go to Sam Darnold because he balled yesterday. After he threw his pick, he came back.
He said, "Hold my beer, watch me do this again."
Yeah, and he was able to get them a victory, man. But my fourth honorable mention is going to go to Zach Charbonnet. And for those who did not watch the game, the Seahawks had to do a 2-point conversion to tie the game. And it was a freaky thing, man. Probably.
So let me ask you though, before you go, do you think that was a forward pass or was it a backward pass?
It was a backwards pass because they were doing a screen. He did a screen, so he threw it behind the line of scrimmage, man. So that counts as a backward pass.
People are arguing because it hit the helmet that it was.
Remember the first guy he threw the backwards pass, but the defensive lineman came and hit the ball or got in the way of the ball, but it was still a backwards pass. That's why it bounced. So it bounced forward. And Charbonnet had the wherewithal, the presence of mind to go pick it up.
You couldn't mirror that again if you tried 100 times.
That's probably the craziest 2-point conversion you will ever see.
You could never have that mimic happen again. I mean, you could try 500 times in a row and you would never get it mirrored again. That just out of the random blue, it's going to doink off of a player's helmet and it's going to go perfectly into the end zone. You pick it up and score. It'll never happen again. All right, Shane. Give us your honorable mention, sir.
Well, I'm gonna keep it in that game. Just an honorable mention. It's in Seattle. It used to be what Citibank or Skyfield or something like that. Now it's Lumen Field, right? It's I believe a paint company, and Seattle's jerseys last night.
They were pretty awesome. I like the helmets.
With the pearlescent helmet shifting from the purple to the green to the blue, and then the gray jersey with the pearlescence in it. Shout out to them for doing the uniforms. I thought it was very interesting. Of course, it was a great game. Like I texted y'all earlier, I was like, "Hey,
use another term. That was a heck of a game."
Yeah, it was a heck of a game. I had a day off. I finally got to watch a full Thursday night game. It was a good one to watch. But I want to shout out Seattle and their creative department, uniform kind of people for putting that kind of pearlescence together.
Matt, could you imagine if Atlanta were to do something like that with them? How off the chain that would be?
No, because Atlanta, they don't think like that, man. They don't think innovatively. They don't think innovatively. They think like idiots. So it is what it is.
Well, And
Hey,
it would have been
time out.
what?
I can call one. I don't coach for Atlanta.
Thank God. So I
That's
do want to say this
disrespectful,
also,
man.
Matt. I do want to say this. I don't know if you saw this from 680 The Fan. Also, WSB is reporting it. Literally, all the outlets reporting it. The Atlanta Falcons have filed for a uniform because they can change every I think it's 5 years. Well, they filed for the change effective to go into 2027, and some of the concepts are pretty snazzy. It is like the all reds, literally the red.
I'm gonna check those out.
It's the red helmet with the current logo, but they're changing the logo to make it more dynamic, and they're putting silver into it. They said. And it's gonna be the red helmet with the silver falcon, and then it's gonna be the red jersey, not the old logo, the new one, and then red pants. That's one of their ideas. Then they're talking about the whiteout version with the white helmet and the white and white. So there's some pretty snazzy little renderings, so possibly in there. So we'll see. Stay tuned for that one. All right, my next one is Leon Draisaitl. This is absolutely an amazing feat to have happen. He hit the 1,000 career points in the NHL. He literally is one of the best to play the game. Pinsman will happily tell you he is literally one of the best. What I wouldn't give to have, I hate him because he plays for the Edmonton Oilers. What I wouldn't give to have him be on the Tampa Bay Lightning's side, I would absolutely be happy on that one. That's just my thoughts on that one. Shane, give us your next honorable mention, sir.
Well, I guess my next honorable mention is going to go out to the NC State Wolfpack coming out today against a Memphis team in a ball game, and kind of doing right. Of course, as they all say, it's CJ Bailey's kind of it's his workout tape for the next great transfer opportunity, for what they say, because of who he is and where he's at. But shout out to them. They kind of handle business, and Dave Doran was like, okay, we're here. We're going to be a factor.
Yeah, how about that? The fact that Memphis, though, man, started 8-0 and they finished on a 5-game losing streak. Dang, they really they fell off their rocker real fast. Yeah, they fell off their rocker real fast on that one. But definitely shout out. And I have a couple together. I want to give shout out also to Mike Alejado. He has officially announced he will be staying for the 2026 season. He's also said he is committed for the full 4 years at University of Hawaii. He said he did get approached by several West Coast teams to come over. He said, no, my heart relies where my home is, which is he's from the state of Hawaii. So shout out to him. But my next one, I want to give a shout out to everybody who is officially watching one of the best times of the year. It's college football bowl season. It's finally here. We've already seen some pretty good matchups, to say the least. By the way, did you guys happen to see today? Kennesaw State they didn't get beat. They got mollywopped 41-6 against Western Michigan. Matt, this brings back to, and I told everybody before, Western Michigan needs to get out the MAC because they're doing amazing things. They just won the national championship in hockey this past year, and now they're they literally swept the entire MAC conference. So congratulations to Western Michigan. But that was such an absolute shellacking on that one. All right, Shane, give us your next honorable mention, please.
I'm going to go to a personal note for me. My next honorable mention goes to my little nephew Paxton. Had his Christmas concert, recital, whatever you want to call it, for his preschool class last night. They sung all the classics, Jingle Bell Rock, Oh Silent Night. It's great to see the growth of a school that Tripp went to just last year, and they've grown by like almost 250% now. We were able to sit in the middle last year. The whole sanctuary was full this year. So want to give a shout out to Bible Baptist church there in Simpsonville. My nephew Paxton, for having a good time and celebrating the Christmas season and the true reason for it.
Absolutely on that one. All right, so my next honorable mention. This is gonna be crazy to say this. Matthew Judon. Why am I giving him a shout out? Well, he was released by the Dolphins. Remember, Matt? It was just a year ago. Everybody was talking about he was supposed to save the defensive line for the Atlanta Falcons, and it didn't come to fruition. But
it was a disaster.
And I guess Buffalo saw something that literally 31 other teams didn't see, and they signed Matthew Judon today to a prorated 1-year, $2.5 million contract.
Backup. He's gonna be a backup for him.
Oh yeah, he'll be a backup.
Yeah, but Buffalo's famous for that, like bringing in a veteran edge rusher to seal up for the playoffs. They're famous for it.
Yep.
I mean, why not? Why not? What was it? 4 or 5 seasons ago, he was all pro.
Yeah, it's so weird to think that too.
Why not?
There's always that one what if possibility.
You got life now. You
Yeah,
got life now after that win against the Patriots.
No, they got life now after the Chiefs went down for the count.
Yeah, yes.
That's when they got life.
All right, so we're not gonna
kryptonite went out the window.
So we're not going to talk too much about it because I have a whole segment I'm going to cover on the next episode. I want to give a shout out to Greg Bithell. Unfortunately, if you guys have not already seen the story, like yesterday, a very tragic event took place. He was going to Sarasota, Florida, and then they had something happen. They had to reroute back. And his plane crashed yesterday morning, and it killed him, his wife, their 14-year-old daughter, and their 5-year-old son. And they didn't know for a fact that he was on there until his family confirmed he was on the plane with his family, and then they did officially find his remains in there. But we will talk more about that on Tuesday's episode. But just really sad that, gone way too young. Greg Bithell.
It's a somber moment for Western North Carolina.
Yes.
All the help
he did so much for people for the Helene. He
Yeah.
did so much in general. He was a great humanitarian. His wife was a fantastic humanitarian. The daughter had started wanting to follow in his footsteps of being a humanitarian and helping out. Just absolutely heartbreaking. This also just goes to show, you're never promised anything. And hold your family close, love each other. You're never promised anything. So it's just really sad. I was going to do the sports stories, but we're coming close on time. Unless, Matt, do you have a quick sports story you would like to share with everybody? No? What about you, Shane? Do you have a quick?
No, I'm out.
Okay, no worries. Guys.
I've been traveling all day. I hadn't had time.
Absolutely, guys. It's okay. So real quick, want to let everybody know Tuesday, the 23rd of December, which is next Tuesday. Yes, it'll be episode 177. It is our Christmas special. You will see myself, Matt, Shane, Brian, and Mike, which is Pensman Sports. We will all be here. And then also we are going to have Texas. Oh, by the way, Texas A&M volleyball did win the national title. So that's coming from our guy, John. Want to let everybody know we will air. I have to get the link for everything set up, but we will air the iHeart Radio Award nomination announcements on Tuesday. It takes place in also the Underground Promotion Awards. If those don't remember, we are nominated for 5 iHeart Radio Awards and 5 Underground Promotion Awards. Fingers crossed that we win. But we have a whole jam-packed episode lined up for Tuesday. We will not have another episode for the year 2025. We will take a much needed, well-deserved 2-week break and come back to you guys on Tuesday, January 6th. Really cool moment on Friday, January 9th. I have a very special friend. Her name is Amanda. I'm not going to give her last name until she comes on, but she works for ESPN. She also is the play-by-play caller for West Virginia Athletics. So she is going to be coming on with us on Friday, January 9th. There is a strict strict script that we have to go by because of contractual obligations with ESPN and other media networks that she is part of. So really excited about that one. Also, we have our good friend John McDaniel from the Pitch Grid podcast. He's going to come on, talk to us for about 5 minutes, just kind of giving his thanks for the 2025 year as a whole. And remember, he's going to be coming on with us when World Cup starts, and will talk to us about the World Cup. So we're really excited about that one. So a lot of good things are taking place for the next year for the Sports Nuts. We will be also traveling to the NFL draft, which is being held in Pittsburgh. So you'll most likely see all of us there. Also, shout out to our guy, Ben Rodriguez and Adam, also of the Inside the Locker Room podcast. They actually possibly going to be meeting us there as well. And our good friend Ralph Williams of RW Media also is expected to meet us there at the draft. So, yeah, really excited. A lot of good things coming on. Can't wait. We want to thank everybody, seriously, for interacting with us tonight. We had we just need one comment. We had 100 comments for the night. Really do mean a lot to us. And then want to give a special shout out to Addison, my daughter. Addison, basketball season has started. We had a little scare happen, guys, and thankfully it did not come to light. She actually hurt her knee. I had to check her ACL. It is intact. There is no issues. She just has a bone bruise. So thank goodness my baby is okay. And then to give a shout out to my daughter Aspen. By the way, Matt, last time you saw her, she was not walking. She's running. She is absolutely running. So shout out to Aspen on that one.
They grow so fast.
They do. You literally can't stop. She's Speedy Gonzalez, andale kind of thing. So with that being
faster
said,
than Brandon right now.
Whole class and everybody.
I'll put my money on Aspen.
She's faster than everybody right now. Heck, the nurse was trying to keep up with her. She can't keep up with her. She's so fast. So with that being said, for everybody who tuned in, we absolutely appreciate you, and you guys mean the world to us. Matt, please tell everybody your goodbyes, sir.
Yeah, I'm not going to dive too much into it as I'm in a house full of kids today. But yeah, man, guys, just make sure, man, the weekend's coming up. Just play by the rules. Just don't get flagged. If you're going to do something, just call an Uber.
Just call Matt.
Don't do that. Don't do that. We're not going to do that. I'm not going to do
Don't
that.
get whoops. You don't get whoops behind you.
I can definitely tell you who left.
Yes, absolutely. Shane, give you your goodbye, sir.
Oh, yeah. Well, as always, appreciate everybody out there watching and listening. Please like, follow, subscribe, share. Helps us out, helps y'all out, getting the great content out. But love everybody. May the good Lord bless you. Peace, love, and bacon grease.
Peace, love, and bacon grease, indeed. Real quick, Alabama is losing 7-0 to Oklahoma. If you guys want to have opportunity to listen to play-by-play, go check out our friend Brian Pettit at Tiger Stripes Media.
Bob's got him fired up, son.
Yeah, he's doing play-by-play. So go check him out. Help Brian out. Get some views and get up, subscribe. He's a really good friend of ours. You'll see him on there. Guys, I always tell you, peace up, A-Town, down Y. It's the greatest sports city there ever was. You guys have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy time with the family. See you on Tuesday. Until then, enjoy this outro and good night.